probably noticed, I have a different intro for this video, and that's because it is a different topic that I'm going to be talking about. I've had this dream for a while, and I just realized it was achievable. I want to thru hike the Appalachian Trail. For a while I was like, oh, nobody does that, because it's 2,190 miles, that's a long time. And then during the quarantine, I actually started looking up if people did this, and it turns out that they do. Every year, tons of people try to thru hike, and unfortunately only a quarter of people ever actually make it. But then there's also section hiking, which is just taking a little bit here and there to go hike it, which would take longer. But if someone decides to thru hike the Appalachian Trail, it'll take between 5 and 7 months. Depends on how fast you're able to hike. Currently, I'm hoping to do this in about 2 years. I've never been backpacking before, so I don't have that experience. I'm hoping in the next year and a half I can get that. And the last time I was tent camping was when I was a small child, so I've basically never been tent camping before. Now I'm going to tell you some facts off the top of my head. The trail was originally conceived in 1925. But unfortunately they weren't able to complete it for several years. I think 1937 is when they finally did. And the trail has changed a lot over the years just because of like land disputes, or maybe there was a rock slide somewhere and they couldn't have the trail go that way anymore. It goes through 14 states. I'm not going to be able to name them all, but I'm going to try. There's Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, that's mine, Maine, does it go through Massachusetts? I don't even remember what ones I've said. Anyway, I can name 10 of the states apparently. I had a plan, but I can hear my neighbors out and I don't want them to hear me talking. But yeah, that's what I want to do. It's still kind of a crazy dream because only 1 in 4 thru hikers actually make it to the other end of the trail. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can start in Springer Mountain, Georgia, and hike up to Mount Katahdin in Maine, or you can go the other way. Or there's flip-flop hiking, which is when you pick a midpoint. So Harper's Ferry is like the understood midpoint, even though it's not technically the midpoint anymore. It's where the headquarters of the Appalachian Trail Conservancy is. So you could start at Harper's Ferry, go north to Katahdin, and then come back and go south to Springer Mountain, or whatever you want to do since it's your hike. A fun thing that they do is have trail names, and you don't have to pick a trail name, it's just something fun that people do. The ones I've heard or read are Redbeard, the family, which was a group of, I think, 8 people who decided to hike the entire trail as a family together. And that was pretty impressive because they hiked with a 2-year-old, and I don't like children in the first place, but I wouldn't want to do that with a small child. Chair was another one, Snorlax. But yeah, it's just like a fun thing people do. You can choose your own, or you can wait for someone to choose for you. Though I've heard that if other people name you, it tends to be something that you might not necessarily like. Like Snorlax was named because he snorts. Figures on the trail, snakes. I'm just worried about stepping on them because I won't see them if they're in the trail. But I'm not really worried about them like leaping out of the forest and attacking me. Bears, kind of a fear, but not really. I've seen bears before up in the Shenandoah National Park, and they've left us alone when they were crossing the road in front of us. But that's the closest I've ever gotten to a bear. Not really worried about murder, but it's always a possibility. The trail's been around for 70 years, and only 11 people have been murdered on it, which, considering 2 to 3 million people hike the trail every year, is very low. The cold. I don't know how well I'm going to handle that, because I don't handle it well as it is. So that's probably my major fear. That would be the thing that would really make me stop, is if I was too cold for too long. Lightning, I mean, yeah, it's scary, but what are the odds of actually getting struck if you're smart? Don't go above the tree line, don't stand under metal poles, you know? Obviously, I'm just starting out this journey. If you have any tips or tricks or reading material that you think would be helpful, or if you've thru-hiked the trail before or section hiked, leave any comments below. I'd be interested in reading them. If you have a YouTube channel where you've hiked, I'd be interested in watching it. But thank you for watching. I know this is different than what the channel was originally set out to do, and thank you for watching.